Hi, I'm Bill McLean with Clean and Prosperous America. Our team asked ourselves, could there be a segment of voters who are underserved, a source of votes for candidates up and down the ballot? So we undertook to do a gap analysis, surveying publicly available secondary research and quickly homed in on voters under the age of 40, recognizing that generations Y and Z account for over a third of all eligible voters, and yet their turnout lags that of older voters by 20 to 30 points. Now, we did a nationwide survey, followed by a series of focus groups, followed by yet another survey, this time focused in on swing states. And we did discover that, yes, there is an untapped segment of voters that we call the ambivalent youth. Now, how big is that cohort? Who are they? Where are they? How do they think? What will motivate them to vote? That's what I want to share with you now. Now, first, there are over 91 million Americans between the ages of 18 and 39. Within that, there are about 48 million eligible voters between the ages of 18 and 39 in non-urban areas. We decided to focus on ambivalent youth in non-urban areas. And that adds up to over 30 million voters, 30 million eligible voters that fit our definition of ambivalent youth living in non-urban areas. 2/3 in Gen Y, a third in Gen Z. Now, first off, what do we mean by non-urban? Our definition of non-urban is small towns, suburbs of non-major metro areas, and open areas, rural areas. So we reference the Housing Assistance Council's data portal in order to quantify our cohort of over 30 million ambivalent youth in non-urban areas. But again, small towns, rural areas, and suburbs of non-major metro areas. Now, what do we mean by ambivalent youth? By ambivalent, we mean undecided. Undecided as to whether or not they're going to register, undecided who they're going to vote for, if they're going to vote. There's a lot of opportunity there for both turnout and persuasion. So then in our research, we wanted to figure out, how do they think? We want to how do these ambivalent youth in non-urban areas think? And what we discovered is that they are fiercely independent. They don't follow politics. They don't trust politicians. They do not consider themselves a member of any party. They vote for the person, not for the party. The mindset of the ambivalent youth in non-urban areas fits pretty closely to Catalyst's Peoria profiles of disheartened but determined and struggling skeptics. Now, how did they vote? 4 years ago, the Gen Y ambivalent youth voted overwhelmingly for President Obama, and yet just 4 years later, they voted decisively for President Trump. So how are they going to vote in 2020? Our research shows that they are leaning decisively to Joe Biden and the Democrats. That's good, but we have to motivate them. We have to appeal to them, and the key to doing that is inviting their vote, engaging with them on issues that matter. Now, in our review of secondary research, we saw that climate change, climate action ranked as perhaps the top issue amongst younger voters. And that holds true too for the ambivalent youth in non-urban areas. But, and this is what's interesting, this is important, climate change is seen as being, it's big, and it's big, it's global, it's not tangible, whereas pollution is local, it affects their families, it affects their health. It's an issue where they see their vote can matter. Now, we were surprised, but this is important. The ambivalent youth, again, they don't follow politics. They don't necessarily know what kind of damage has been done to the environment over the last 4 years within this administration. But as you can see on the right-hand side of the screen, each one of these policies is of extreme concern to the ambivalent youth in non-urban areas. And yet, and these are things that have been going on over the last 4 years. This is not hypothetical. And yet, as you can see in the pie chart on the left, more than half of the ambivalent youth in non-urban areas don't know or don't believe that pollution is going up and protections are going down. So it's an opportunity for candidates to educate the ambivalent youth in non-urban areas and thereby motivate them to vote, to take action, to change the course of pollution at the local level. Now, our second survey went out into the field after the pandemic shut everything down. So we were able to get inside the minds of the ambivalent youth in the context of COVID. And unsurprisingly, we found that the issues of jobs and the economy are magnified in these pandemic times. But the ambivalent youth see the jobs and the economy is going hand in hand with pollution and the environment. They want to build back better. They want to create clean energy jobs. They want to invest in clean, green infrastructure. But it's important to do so in a manner that is working together. Again, the ambivalent youth in non-urban areas, they may have voted for Trump. They probably have friends and family who voted for Trump. So they do not respond well to finger pointing, blaming and shaming, as tempting as that may be for some of us to do. Fact of the matter is they will turn off and tune out when they hear that. What they want to hear is, what will a candidate do to work together, to work across the aisle to make progress, a theme of unity and a positive, forward-looking theme works much better with the ambivalent youth in non-urban areas. So net-net, we did find a significant cohort of voters who can be game changers in swing states and stretch districts as we go on offense, if we talk with them, and if we talk with them about the right issues, and if we talk with them about the right issues and in the right way. And the good news is that all of this fits within a national narrative that is being set up at the top of both tickets. Joe Biden's jobs creating climate plan on the one hand, contrasted with President Trump's hard campaigning on rolling back environmental protections on the other hand. That sets up a national narrative within which candidates up and down the ballot can campaign educating ambivalent youth in non-urban areas about the jobs creating potential of fighting local pollution and creating clean, green jobs, cleaning up the environment, and taking climate action. So all of that is the good news. We're seeing candidates take up this strategy. Even in my own backyard, I see a candidate for state representative campaigning to hold corporate polluters accountable, to protect our coastline and forests. It works. All of our research and recommendations are summarized in our candidate playbook. That is linked within our website at cleanprosperous.org. We welcome you to review it, to share it, and to let us know of any comments or questions that you may have. Thank you so much, and on to a big win in November.